Hi, my name is Ben Brekke, and this is my iconic image presentation. My presentation is on this image of Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed kneeling during the national anthem of a football game, and its immense impact that it would have on movements against racial inequality in the late 2010s up until today. So, some context of this image. It features Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed, who were two San Francisco 49er players at the time it was taken. It was taken by photographer Mike McCarn, and it was taken during an NFL preseason game against the Carolina Panthers on September 18th, 2016. And it is also important to note this was not the only time Kaepernick kneeled that season. He kneeled during every game. This was just the particular game in which the photo was taken. And then the broader context for this image was that it was protesting against racial inequality that black people were facing, especially it was especially inspired by police brutality against black people. In fact, Kaepernick cited the specific instance that inspired him to take this form of protest was the shooting of Mario Woods. Mario Woods was a black man who was simply boarding a bus when he was accused of fitting a description of a criminal, and was when he tried to resist his arrest, he was shot to death. The impact of this image in the short term, many people were upset as they took it as disrespect against America. Many patriotic Americans were very upset because they didn't understand necessarily what Kaepernick was meaning to do with his protest, and took it very disrespectfully. It also inspired many other similar protests, as many other NFL players would also begin to kneel during the national anthem, and across other sports, more people would kneel during national anthems. Another effect was Kaepernick would lose his job as the San Francisco 49ers quarterback, and still to this day is no longer an NFL quarterback, uh, largely due to his controversial or the fact that his beliefs are so controversial. Though part of it is due to the fact that he is no longer a great NFL player as he used to be. And then some of the more long term impacts was it was one of the first really well known protests against racial inequality post the civil rights movement, because the NFL is a very popular like a very well it's a very popular uh, sport, football, and thus it got a lot of attention when Kaepernick did it. And this led to further discussions on police brutality as more protests would arise around police brutality. And then this leads us also to today. This contributed to the Black Lives Matter movement that we've seen today as a result of George Floyd, because again, it was Kaepernick who really brought this issue to the attention of so many new people because the NFL is just so popular. So what I see when looking at this image is that Kaepernick and Reed are both front and center, and they're given very like good lighting, and they're both kind of looking off elsewhere, kind of stoically. Just they look uh, they look brave, they look bold, because they're not looking at the camera, they're looking off. And then everybody else behind them is standing, but they are in the center of it all. Uh, they're in the center of it all, while everybody else behind them is kind of just blurred into the background and is not really given the same lighting and attention that they are in the front. But everybody else in the background is standing for the national anthem. So some other works this reminds me of. This first image is just a picture of Rosa Parks not getting up on the bus. This seems like uh, this is similar to Kaepernick kneeling, as they were both protesting similar circumstances, as they were both aiming for more racial equality for black people, and they were both doing so in a peaceful manner, however, a peaceful manner that was disruptive enough to gain attention because it was going against the normal practices of society for their times. And then another famous picture of players kneeling is this picture of several Lions players, as you can see in the middle, kneeling during the national anthem. This is obviously very similar to the Kaepernick image and was in fact inspired a protest inspired by Kaepernick. And the Lions were, again, many people in the NFL would go on to kneel during national anthems following Kaepernick's protest. It would not just be the 49ers and the Lions. Emotions I feel when I see this work, I feel more sympathy because, again, this work brought a lot of attention to the struggles that uh, African Americans face uh, on a daily basis, even in the post civil rights movement era. And I began to, as a result of this, I felt more and I understood more what black people went through, and I felt more sympathy for them. I also feel more respect for Kaepernick and Reed for doing such a thing because obviously this is a very bold action to take a kneel during the national anthem. Um, and again, um, in the image they're looking off very stoically, and it makes me feel this sort of like I feel respect for them because they are portrayed in such a bold lighting, and they're looking off and looking confident. I also feel kind of a sense of anti-patriotism, like more of a shame for my country because first of all, what this represents is a large problem with America, and second of all, the reaction that this drew, that I know happened as a result of this, also makes me feel ashamed for America, as people completely failed to understand the message that Kaepernick was putting out when he knelt, and instead twisted it and disrespected it. Questions this image raises. So who, first off, like, I would like to know if anyone else knew that Kaepernick and Reed were going to do this. And if they did know, why didn't they participate? As you can see in the background, there are other players there that are standing there, staff members that are just standing there. Like, why would they not participate? Because they knew it was going to be too controversial. They didn't know Kaepernick and Reed were even going to do this, or just why would they not participate? And then, was this the direct event that did lead to the end of Kaepernick's career in the NFL because he's still no longer on a team? Um, However, that could also have just been due to the fact that he was declining as a player, and it didn't necessarily have to do with the fact that he was controversial, though I'm sure that could not have helped his case. And then, so the deeper kind of meaning of this work. So Kaepernick's intention with this work was to inspire more movements for racial equality. I mean, as stated before, he cited the reason for him kneeling as a police shooting, and he was kneeling in protest of such that police shooting and other police shootings because that is a part of the racial inequality that black people do experience. And so he was by doing this, he was trying to inspire more movements like that and bring more attention to the subject. And the artist was also trying to elevate that message, but with this work, the artist's intention, as you can see, because they are given such good lighting, because they are front and center, the artist wants to draw attention to Kaepernick and Reed. They want Kaepernick and Reed's message to be heard. And also, like the image, Kaepernick and Reed are looking very stoic. They're looking off into the distance, and it feels like they look confident, and they look that and it portrays them in like the light of a brave historical or a brave figure of change and of hope. And so yeah, the artist was trying to elevate this message of Kaepernick by portraying him in a bold and good light and bringing more attention to the message by photographing it. And then that is my presentation. This is my works cited. Thank you for listening.